If there's one remaster that Nintendo made for the Famicom Disk System that's known outside of Japan, it's Kaettakita Mario Bros. At the very least, it actually got a cartridge release outside of Japan, and only in Europe, and with part of the game missing. But still, there's a cartridge release. Kaettakita Mario Bros. Was only available through the disc writer kiosk, where you would take your old game discs in, pay a small fee, and have them rewritten with new games. Usually, this fee was 500 yen. However, in this case, Nintendo made the game as a promotional tie-in with Nagata-nien. They're a company that made pre-packaged food, particularly seasonings that you put on different styles of rice. So this was roughly the equivalent of having a Kraft mac and cheese tie-in. Before you start playing Mario Brothers, you got one of 3 commercials for a Nagata-nien product. You might get ochazuke seasonings, that's rice with green tea on it. The commercial also features a celebrity endorsement from Saburo Kitajima. Another commercial was for fried rice seasonings, and then the last one was for Super Mario Bros. 3 Furikake. Furikake is a type of dried seasoning that's sprinkled onto rice. That ad also lets you know that Super Mario Bros. 3 Curry is available. Mario 3 had just come out in Japan, so that's another piece of cross-promotion. You're offered 2 different modes, Original Mario Bros. And Nagata-nien World. In terms of gameplay, they're identical. Nagata-nien World has one additional feature, plus it was part of a contest. If you scored enough points, then you'd be given codes, and these codes were used to enter yourself into drawings. For 100,000 points, you could win a pack of Super Mario Bros. 3 playing cards. For 200,000 points, you could win a copy of Super Mario Bros. 3. The contest ended in May of 1989, so don't send in those codes now. Once you get into the game, you've got a whole new experience. This is a fresh port of Mario Bros. Made from the ground up. I think the best thing I can do is put this Disk System version side by side with the cartridge release from 1983, and you can take a look at the differences. Obviously, graphically, Kaettakita Mario Bros. Is an enormous improvement. You've got bigger sprites, more animation, even the game's sound is way better. Mario Bros. Was originally an arcade game, released almost simultaneously with the Famicom. It was a major hit at the time, and the first time that Mario got his name in the title. On every stage, your goal is to knock out the monsters that creep out of the pipes. You hit them from underneath to make them flip over, and then run into them to kick them off the stage. Once you've knocked out all the enemies for a level, the whole thing starts over. Toward the bottom of the screen, there's a POW brick that will shake the entire stage when you jump into it, and that will effectively hit anyone who's on the ground. You can only use this 3 times, however. There are 4 types of monsters that you'll face. The shell creepers are the turtles. 1 bump from underneath is all it takes to flip them. The sidesteppers are the crabs, and the first time that you hit them from below, they just get a little angry face. It takes a second blow to finish them off. The fighter flies bounce around, only staying on the ground for a moment, and those 3 are the enemies that you have to take out. If you flip one of them over and fail to kick them off, then eventually it'll turn itself back upright, and then it will run faster afterwards. If a shell creeper or a sidestepper is the last enemy remaining, then it speeds up dramatically, and you'll have to take that into account when you're trying to hit them. For some reason, this does not affect the fighter fly in this version, so it can be useful to save them for last. The 4th type of enemy that can emerge from the pipes are slip ices, and these are ice blocks that stop when they reach the middle of a platform and then freeze the whole platform, making it so you slide across them. These were pulled in the original Famicom cartridge release of Mario Bros., so including them here brings the game closer to the arcade. Another thing that had to be cut from the cartridge release and brought back now are the icicles on very late stages, and these form at the top edges of platforms and drop down. After a period of time, you'll start getting attacked by green fireballs. These appear on a timer, roughly about 15 to 20 seconds after you start a stage, and then a new one comes in about 10 seconds after the previous one disappeared. The green fireballs always appear at your height, so if you know when one's coming in, you can manipulate it. There's also a red fireball that comes in and persists, bouncing around the screen. With the fireballs, if they're near a platform, you can bop them from underneath and destroy them. Every few stages there's a bonus stage, and here your goal is to collect all of the coins before time runs out. On later bonus stages, the platforms become invisible. Again, something that was cut from the original cartridge release. A new addition for Kaettakita Mario Bros. Is that you now have a bit of air control. Not a whole lot, but enough to get you over to a platform if you make an awkward jump. That's a feature that wasn't in the original arcade game at all. In the Nagata Nien World version, when you get a game over, you go to a slot machine. And here you're given a number of chances, depending on how high your score has gotten, to win a few extra lives. But that's the only difference between the two modes that affects gameplay at all. If you can clear stage 22, then the game rolls back to stage 16, and it just keeps going on forever like that. As an early arcade game, there is no ending. You're just going for high score. Of course, the most popular feature of Mario Bros. Has returned. In both game modes, you can play 2-player. And as always, it is cooperative competitive. Cooperate to see how far you can get, and it quickly becomes competitive when you screw over your friend. This port of Mario Bros. Is really well regarded in Japan. But apparently it sold very poorly at the time. With Super Mario Bros. 3 right there, nobody was really interested in this one. If you want one of Nintendo's home ports of Mario Bros., this is the one to get. Though you might not want to actually buy it. After all, it was a late disc writer release, so there is no cover art or packaging to get. And the disc can be a bit pricey if you find one. It's still well worth playing as a great spin on a classic arcade game.